such a hesitation for people who want to start their business. That is like one of the biggest fears that a lot of the people that I talk to have is they're just like, I don't want to turn into a salesman. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be pushy. Right. And man, look, I totally get that. But let me tell you what I have told my team this week. This week, I told my team, and actually, I tell this to everybody that joins me. I say, I promise to never turn you into somebody that you're not. And I will never turn you into somebody cringy. Okay. Nobody starts their business wanting to be cringy, right? We don't want to be pushy. We don't want to be salesy. I get that. And I'll be honest with you, I've been that person. I've been that person that was just so fired up for what I had my hands on that I tried to force people to see what I saw. And I'll be honest with you, I had some success just from my excitement. People were attracted to my excitement. So I don't want you to confuse being excited with being pushy. You can be excited about something and not come off as pushy or salesy, right? You can. But let's talk tonight about how to never be that cringy, salesy person. We're never going to be that salesy, cringy person, okay? So drop a flame in the comments if you're catching me live. If this is a replay for you, then please put a purple heart down below and let's get into it. If you have been following me on all the platforms, if you've been following me on all the platforms, I've been talking a lot about your biggest asset being who you are, right? In fact, I even did a TikTok about that today. I talked about how to separate yourself from the competition, how to really separate yourself from the competition and stand out in the crowd is just by being your authentic self. Okay. With that being said, not only do I want you to just know who you are and be your authentic self, but you also want to know who your audience is. Who is your ideal client, customer, team member, right? Who is that? Have you ever thought about that? And let me tell you, if you try to sell to everyone, you will sell to no one. And I used to have this like fear of loss mentality where I just felt like I wanted everybody to be my client. I wanted everybody to be my customer. Right. And so my message wasn't hitting. I mean, I had some success, but I truly wasn't speaking to the heart of who my ideal customer and client was. And so you have to know that. So how do you identify your ideal client or customer? It's really not that difficult. Let's talk about how. Okay. It's simple. It's you. What was your life like before you got started with your passive income business? Or maybe you just started, or maybe you haven't started yet. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't really know who my ideal client or customer is. It's you right now. Okay. So for me, for example, single mom, more month at the end of the money. I had $70 when I started my business. I was telling my kids no all the time because I literally had no money and I had no time. So my ideal client and customer, right, is that person even to this day. Are you sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of having to tell your family no, or even your friends, no, I can't afford it? Are you sick and tired of missing out on memories and moments with your family because you have to work so much? Maybe you work 2 jobs because you need more money, right? That is my ideal customer or client because that's who I used to be. So once you've identified your ideal client or customer, you can create your content around speaking to that person. You know what I mean? And so you'll hear me share a lot in my TikTok videos and in my trainings. I'll share a lot, man. Your story is everything. I know that it's so tempting to shout the perks of the business to the rooftops. Is it great that you can make money in your sleep? Absolutely. Is it great that you can work this business, 30, 60 minutes, 2 hours a day? Absolutely. Is it great that you can take this business alongside your busy life? Absolutely, it is. But what problems are you solving? Okay. So, knowing your ideal client, teammate, customer, you have to know what problem are you solving for them. Okay. So, you can help them have more time by creating passive income. You want to be able to show them how by doing something one time, you can get paid for that effort over and over. So, that's what I do. I'm going to show you how we can get paid by automations, right? Having an automated business. So, are you tracking what I'm saying? What problems do your products or services solve? Who are they helping? So I want you to do this. This is part of your homework, okay? Part of your homework is to draft your perfect customer or client or team member. What is their demographic? Their demographic is probably going to be people like you, right? Like my demographic is women, mostly women. How old are they? Right? So once you've identified that, you can speak to them. You can even start your content by saying, calling all stressed out moms. Calling all stressed out moms. Are you sick and are you tired of bringing the calculator to the grocery store? Are you tired of having to work 2 jobs just to pay the bills, which leaves you no time to spend with your family? What if I told you that I had a way where you could work just a few minutes here and there throughout the day and create passive income so that you can make money in your sleep? Like, what if I showed you a way to do that? I've been able to take $70. I had $70 in my bank account and turned it into nearly $1 million. And I'll never forget when I woke up to my first passive income check, I made $500 in my sleep. And by the end of my first year, I was able to quit my job. Do you see? I didn't share any details about my business. It was about, hey, girlfriend, good to see you on. I did not share all of these amazing perks about my business, although those are important. And there is a time and place to share the benefits of your business. But if you want to never sell a thing in your life, you need to know exactly who your ideal client, customer, or team member is and share your story, my friend. That's tip number 2. Being able to share your story. And if you're getting my emails, then you got my free mini masterclass on how to share your story and how to draft your story. And if you did not get that and you want that, just put story in the comments and I'll make sure that you get that. But your story is the most powerful asset that you have, along with just you being your true, authentic self. My friend, making money in your sleep is great. Okay. Having an automated business is great. Having systems is great, right? Having a done for you business is great. All that is great. But what is really going to tug at people's heartstrings is your story. Man, my husband died back in 2008. Both of my children were under 4 years old at the time, no college education, right? No skills, no following, no network. I only had $70 to my name. I put that into a system and followed it consistently and turned it into nearly $1 million. And now I help set families free with my passive income systems. Okay. That's my story. Now, what I don't want you to do is compare my chapter 33 to your introduction. You probably aren't even on chapter 1. And so that's kind of a little bonus tip I want to give you is I don't want you to compare where I'm at now to where you are right now, because I wasn't always where I am right now, right? In the beginning, my story sounded like this. Man, listen, I am broke. I'm having to tell my children no because my bank account won't let me tell them anything else. I found a solution. I bought this passive income system. My friend is going to help me. And my goal is to be able to quit my job and pay cash to take my kids to Disney. That was my story back in 2012. Do you see how it's a lot of it's still the same? The beginning is still the same, but now I have success behind me, so I can incorporate that. So know who your ideal client and customer is, and then share your story and your purpose. What is your purpose? Back in 2012, my purpose was to quit my job and pay cash to take my kids to Disney World. What is my purpose now? My purpose now is to help. My goal, I'll be honest with you, my goal is to help 100 families start their passive income business by October 31st. That is my goal. And right now I'm at 70. Will you be 71? Do you want to be 71? You might be like, oh my God, Jana, how are you helping so many people at once? Because I have a system in place. Because I have an automated system in place. Very simple, easy, duplicatable system in place. So what is your story right now, my friend? Let me ask. I want to ask you right now, why are you on here tonight? Why did you stop and watch this live video? Or if you're watching the replay, why are you watching the replay? Right? Yes. Well, you are the product. I love that you said that. Yes. People will do business with those they like, know, and they trust. So it's so important that you get really great at sharing your story, because that's going to connect you with people. Okay, how many people can relate to having more month at the end of the money? How many people can relate to being stressed out about their finances? How many people can relate to having 9-to-5 burnout? That is your connecting piece. You are your story, your situation. Right? And then because you have the automated system, that's going to save you some time. That's your automated system is what allows you to still work your job, to still do the things that life requires you to do, but you have a business out there that's working for you. Okay? That's called leverage. All right, moving on. So number 3, how to avoid being salesy. Hey, Chris Castile, good to see you on. How to avoid being salesy, how to never sell a thing in your life. Okay, here's tip number 3 is offer value before the sale. So for my team, we have like an 80-20 rule. So like when it comes to Facebook, for example, they'll post about their business or product twice a week on their main page. Okay. But in your stories, in your Facebook stories, you can post about your business all the time. Hey, Paula, nice to see you on. In your stories, you can post about your business all the time. Now, if you're on TikTok and you have a niche, you have a specific niche, then you're going to pretty much do your content around that niche, right? So for my passive income clients on TikTok, that's all we are talking about, right? Because we are focused, like, it's just the way the platform is set up. On my YouTube, that's all I'm teaching is how to build a passive income business. My Facebook and my Instagram have a little more life in there, a little bit more behind the scenes, my kids, my dogs, right? My dating life or lack thereof, like my church stuff or whatever. So it really just depends on your platform. But for most of my Facebook affiliates and clients, it's an 80-20 rule. So they'll do most of their posts as life, and then maybe twice a week they'll do which we call like a direct sale type of post. So what is offer value before the sale? So value, how can you offer value and attract people to you? Teach them something. Teach them what you're learning as you grow your business. Like right now, I'm teaching you what I've learned, right, over the years being in this industry and building passive income businesses, right? I'm teaching you how to attract customers, how to attract clients, how to attract team members. Okay? So what can you offer someone, right? What can you teach them? And life has already taught you so much. What have you learned along the way? So I want you to think of yourself as a funnel, not a bowl. Like bowls, they just capture things, right? But funnels capture things and then move them out. So I want to know, maybe put this in the comments right now. What is something that you've learned in your life? It could be about parenting. It could be about maybe you already have a business right now, right? What is something, it could even be something you learned at church. Like, what have you learned that you could teach someone or maybe share a story about that could add value to someone's life? And then the fourth tip would be to build social proof. So how do you build social proof? That is going to come from sharing your success, sharing the success of your team, sharing the success of the people that you know, right? So when I first started my business, I hadn't made any money. So I had to share the testimonials of other people. Look, here's what, and I was always honest about where I was at. I haven't made any money yet, but my friend Karen, her first check was 73 cents, but now she makes, 50 grand a month or whatever it was back then. So when you're building social proof online and you haven't made any money yet, don't let that deter you. Share testimonials from the community page. Man, when I first started my newest passive income business, that was all I did. And I still have to share the testimonials of other people. What is happening for other people inside the community until you start making money yourself? That is something that you'll want to do. You'll also, again, you want to be that forever student. You want to continue to learn so that you can build social proof in that as well. So I really feel like offering value and building social proof, they kind of go together, because you can also build social proof online by adding value, by teaching people what you've learned. Okay. And then number 5 is create urgency or exclusivity. Okay. So this is where we'll go into, this is kind of I hate to call it a sales tactic, but it kind of is. But this is only going to come once you have built an audience of some sort. Okay. Once you have people that have already they've expressed interest in your business, but they haven't necessarily pulled the trigger. They haven't become a client or customer just yet, but they've expressed interest. Okay. Um, Creating urgency and exclusivity is awesome. So, like, for example, right now, I have this opportunity where there is $100,000 on the table in what we call founders bonuses, but you have to enroll by a certain date, right? And so that is using urgency and exclusivity. Okay. So something that I did in my digital marketing business was last month, I said, when you purchase your business, I will waive your $29 website fee, but you have to do it by August 31st. But those people have already expressed interest in my business. You see what I mean? But it worked. It works. It does work. Okay. That's not salesy. That is literally just making an offer to people who've already raised their hand and said they were interested. Now you're just giving them a little prize for pulling the trigger. Okay. So let's review. And then I want to go into the cash flow quadrant. So the first way to avoid being salesy, okay, is knowing who your ideal client is. That's who you're going to talk to. Calling all moms who are stressed out about their finances. Calling all moms who are sick and tired of bringing a calculator to the grocery store. Calling all moms who are struggling with 9-to-5 burnout. Calling all moms who are working 2 jobs to barely pay the bills. That's going to get someone's attention. That is going to get a lot of people's attention, right? Share your story and your purpose. Again, if you haven't gotten my free mini masterclass on how to share your story, you want to put your email in the link. Okay. You want to put your email in there so you can get that. But your story is your biggest asset, my friend. And then offer value before the sale. What is the value? Teach people something that you're learning. So inside my community, I have a 90-day success sprint. So every day for 90 days, there is a little short 5-minute video that's going to give my clients a practical step and tip in building their business. You could literally use that for 90 days to bring value to people before you actually offer your product. And then building social proof, I think value goes hand in hand with that. Also sharing testimonials. Again, if you haven't made any money yet, you can screenshot the ones in the community and share them in your story, on your TikTok, in your reels. Okay. And then creating a sense of urgency and exclusivity. All right. So let's go into good evening, everyone. Thank you for hopping on. Let me know where you're coming in from. Texas in the house. Texas in the house. Okay. So I want to go into the cash flow quadrant really quick because this is going to help you with mindset. So we're going to go into that really quick. And then we'll be done. So give me like 10 minutes. But I really want to go through the cash flow quadrant because this is so important for you to understand. Okay. And I don't know if you've seen this before, seen it in the comments. I'm curious to know who is familiar with the cash flow quadrant. So this was created by Robert Kiyosaki. He actually wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And when I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get over here on this side of the quadrant. Most people are on this side. And this is where we tend to start. Well, we tend to start off as employees. But I am so grateful that we've all had to get jobs. In fact, put into the comments, how old were you when you had your first job? I was 16 when I had my first job. And being an employee taught me how to be a business owner, and I'll explain. But here's the thing with being an employee. As an employee, the only time you make money is when you are at work. You might be salary, but even if you're salary, you still have to show up for 40 to 50 hours a week, right? In order to get paid. So an employee has to give their time in exchange for money. So if you want more money, what do you have to do? Work more hours. But then what happens? You don't have any time for your family. You don't have any time for vacations. Like, I think that's where most people are today. Most people today are doing DoorDash, Uber, whatever, on top of their regular job because they need more money. But it's a catch 22. Yes, you may have more money, but you don't have any time with the people you love the most. And you may love your job, but your job doesn't love you as much as you love it. I can guarantee you that. Okay. So then let's talk about being self-employed, because a lot of times when people are employees, they think, oh my gosh, I have to own my own business. And so you're thinking, okay, let me sell stuff on Etsy. Let me make some handmade items, or, let me start a car detailing business. Let me, you're thinking of ways to start a business, right? Let me sell jewelry. Let me, whatever I can do, but I just want to work for myself. And so typically people will move from the employee box all down here to the self-employed. And it seems glamorous at first, but what happens is you find yourself doing everything. If you're selling products that you hand make, you have to make them all. And then you have to sell them all. And then you have to package and ship them. Maybe you have to create a website. I'll tell you, when I started my fitness business, when I became self-employed and I owned a gym and I started a fitness business, sounds all glamorous, right? But it cost me nearly $20,000 or so. And then I had to pay the landlord. I had to pay my trainers, right? I had to be there all the time. I was doing class, so being self-employed, you still don't have the time. Does that make sense? You still don't have the time that you want. So this is where you want to be, my friend. You want to be right over here. You want to be a business owner. There's a difference between self-employed and business owner. When you own a business, you are owning a system. You want to be a system owner. And if you go to my link right here, if you're on YouTube, it's down here. If you're on TikTok or Facebook, it's up here. If you go to my link up there, you are going to discover this system that's automated. It is a beautiful system. And that's what you want. You want an automated business, a business that's working for you 24 hours a day, so that when you're sleeping, when you're at work, when you are doing life, you have a business that's out there working for you. That is passive income, my friends. It's doing something one time and getting paid for it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, with very little effort to maintain. Sounds different, right? And so when you own a system, you don't have to package the products. You don't have to ship the products. You don't have to build the website. You don't have to have a following. You don't have to have any tech skills. It's done for you. You just have to follow the system on after that. Isn't that exciting? Oh my gosh. I get fired up talking about it every single day. Every single day I talk about it. It just excites me every single day. So, my friend, I want you to go from being stressed to success. I want you to know what it feels like to wake up to more money than you had the day before. I want you to know what it feels like to not work for 2 months and still make money while you're not working and not have to answer to anyone. I want you to know what it feels like to not wake up to an alarm clock for the rest of your life without intention. The only time I wake up to an alarm is when I have a plane to catch. I want you to experience that. I want you to know what that feels like. It is absolutely incredible. Am I rolling in $1 million? But no, but I have an incredible quality of life, and that's what drives me. What drives you every day? What makes you feel alive every day? You have to find a way to make money in your sleep, my friend, or you will never have freedom. You're not going to have freedom you're not going to have freedom at your job. It's not ever going to provide you the money or the time that you need. It's just not. And working another job is not the answer, right? And being self-employed is not the answer. You have to be a system owner and have an automated passive income business if you want to have time and money together and have freedom, my friend. So if you haven't done so, visit the link, shoot me some questions if you have some. But otherwise, my friend, have an incredible rest of your night, and I'll see you again tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. I don't know if I'll be on because I'm going out of town. But otherwise, well, Saturday nights I'm not on anyway. But Thursday night I might be on. Thursday night I should probably be on. We'll see. But anyway, have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.